Hello, and welcome to All I Do Is Fail. I am your host, Tom Elwes. I'm joined today, as ever, by my co-host, Mr. Ali Woods.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful week, and thank you very much for listening to us. Just a reminder at the top of the show, you can get an extra episode every week by donating to our Patreon, patreon.com/AIDIF pod. Right, that was my robotic bit done. Look at your face. You were like, oh my God, we did it. Because we always forget.
Yeah.
We always do it. We've said about bye about 8 times. And then we go, oh, by the way, you can get another Patreon. And then Mooch is like, you're not on, lads. You're not. The mic's already turned off. How are you today, Tom? Are you all right?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the sunshine. How are you? And you're all
well,
back
you have to
attire?
rub it in. You have to rub it in, don't you? Immediately. Enjoying the sunshine like a normal human being would.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you have to understand that Ali going out in the sunshine in this sort of temperature is kind of like, attempted suicide, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Do you want to... Who are you speaking to?
I was about to introduce... That was
random...
That was the producer, Mooch. Hello, producer Mooch.
Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. How are you?
And we are very happy also to be joined by YouTube sensation and what would I call him? Sort of annoyer of
people,
annoyer of people, and in particular Laurence Fox.
Yeah.
We are joined by sensational YouTube star Mr. Max Fosh.
Thank you very much. You really went for sensation for the superlative.
Twice as best.
Why bother learning more words when you can use the same ones twice?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
More
Tom's
emphasis.
method. How are you doing, man?
I'm very well, thanks. Yeah.
Where do you? And the big questions already. Where do you land on the tanning side of things? Can you be in the sun or?
Where do I land on tanning?
Yeah.
The hard-hitting questions. I do.
Welcome to Newsnight.
I fancy myself a journalist.
All right, Emily.
Sorry, no, it's Ali. But
I do tan.
All right, mate.
Which already puts me at an advantage compared to
this is
one of you.
Point your finger at me, mate.
This is a pro-tan podcast.
Compared to this pasty old ghost over here, this Victorian child.
Yeah, I do tan. I
done.
don't actively do it. It's not one of my hobbies, but
Okay.
if it's kind of a thing that happens to me generally.
Oh wow! Okay, doesn't even have to try. Look at that. Tom is one
Most
of
of
Tom's
us.
hobbies. Tom's off and down the sunbeds in Essex, just getting that. It's good to go with a bit of sun-kissed when you're going into beefer. You don't want to turn up on day one, bit pasty.
I've got a question. Who makes the goggles for like the sunbeds? Do you think that's a separate, like its own company, or do you think it's kind of offcuts of kind of a glasses manufacturer?
I like where your head's at for financial kind of, diversify your income.
Yeah.
Because this guy's thought about it and he's thinking, here we go. Max
thought
Fosh
you were-
sunbed goggles.
The Fosh gogs.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking us like we were like one of us does it, like which one of you does it, and I was like, did Tom not explain what this podcast was?
It's clearly not him. He's never been in sunbed in his life.
Beauty salon. Yeah. I can't go to sunbed. My bed is like a coffin of a vampire. That's
Right.
You close it and it's all shade.
It did sound like one of those kind of like Seinfeld opening bits to a tight five. So what's the deal with those sunbed goggles, guys?
You ever seen these things? I mean, why can't we use normal goggles? I mean, we have to have specific sunbed goggles, don't we?
Have you seen they're doing Seinfeld Lego now? Yeah.
Who's
Lego.
that for?
Talking about diversifying your income.
Who is that
8-year-olds
for?
who are into Seinfeld.
That's a very good question.
Because either you've got strange 43-year-olds who are like...
I think that is it. Like, it's sort of the people who collect Star Wars sort of memorabilia.
But Star Wars, there are kids who are into Star Wars.
I know, but
as
who's
well as-
paying all that money for like the Star Wars Lego stuff? It's the guys who are...
Kids buying that. Kids buying that.
What kid in year 4 is sitting there being like, God,
That 90s sitcom.
Why did
my
the straw
God,
never
did you
go in the fruit shoot garden?
Did you see this Lego gun?
Yeah, you sent me that.
Yeah.
I
ordered
couldn't
it.
actually click on the article. What's the
So
the
there's
Lego?
a
So we'll get back to YouTube sensation,
Yeah,
Max.
yeah.
Sorry, we've just got to get through some press.
a manufacturer of some Glock has made a gun that basically looks like it's made of toys, like it's a toy made of Lego, and but it's an actual functioning gun. Brap.
Yeah.
There you go. Like
You can
gun-related
stick little-
content.
Yeah.
you know that gun manufacturer, the reasoning behind that would be like, so a burglar can't find your gun. I just put it in the Lego with the other Legos,
Yeah.
and then they'll never be able to find it. It's a
classic.
disguised gun.
I've got it. The advert. I could do the advert for this gun, right? Okay. I'm not that I would.
Yeah.
But I could.
I don't. You've got the look of someone
Do you
who
think
would
it
do a
hurts when
gun
you
advert.
step on Lego?
Yeah.
Well, try being shot by Lego.
Shot. So this is it. Imagine this: the scenario. A crazy madman has come in to steal your wallet
Right.
into your house. That's all he wants.
That's it.
Into your house.
Not your car.
But you don't
or your
wanna-
jewels.
Doesn't
No.
care.
Okay.
It's just your wallet. And he is crazy. He's like, oh, get out of this house. I'm going to take your wallet. And then you're like, I'll leave, but please just let me get my kids' favorite toy before
Quite like
I leave.
Frozone in The Incredible.
Exactly. Just let me, because, and you know, like a lot of criminals are, he's got a human side to him.
Yeah.
So you appeal to that human side.
Okay.
And you go, okay, let me just get this last bang, 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 and then you go to jail for killing someone. But apart from that, it worked out well, I thought.
Yeah. Hide your guns in your Lego. It makes perfect sense.
Exactly. And yeah, of course, people will say, yeah, but then the kid will find it. But that's a risk you got to take.
You know, kids should know that. They should know. Why would they manufacture?
That is crazy. But thank you for sharing that, Mooch. I did feel like I wouldn't get these stories if I didn't have your friendship. So.
I've got lots of weird stories. Can I just ask you guys to you're all both turning towards Ali. So
Shock.
try and Ali, if you move.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, if you
No one
move,
wants that.
move a bit closer to Tom, and then people.
But then I'll be blocked behind his massive head.
He does have a massive jawline, doesn't he? Look at it. Look at that.
It's
jawline.
Quagmire. It's like sitting next to Buff Quagmire.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
It's full, like
you
that
also
hairline of
look
yours
like-
used to be.
Hey, it's maturing.
You on Tom's shoulder looks like kind of the devil on his left hand shoulder, and he has no angel
Do
on
it,
the right
Tom.
hand
Make,
side.
make a dark joke.
you could be the angel on the other side. Maybe that's the
yeah.
thumbnail.
Distancing
Yeah, but
myself from Tom
that's
as much
it.
as possible.
Exactly. The devil is winning. I'm there going, asking weird questions about sensational YouTube. And he's there. So Mr. Max Fosh, here we are, Sensation. We will, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Tom, we will go, as always, we'll go through just a little spread of news.
A little bit of news
to
stories.
start. There's a couple of big news stories. Tom, do you want to
We'll take away with the first one. The first one being obviously the Euros and the Euro final and the fallout from the penalty kicks. I think we could all agree that it's the sort of racial abuse has been disgusting towards the players. And my stance is that these companies, like social media companies, need to do more to block it. If they can block, they're so quick to block things that are like copyright infringement or something that would hurt their profits. Why are they not quick to act on racial abuse?
Someone made a point. A comedian said, if I whisper COVID in one of my videos, it immediately comes up for more information on COVID-19, follow this advice. But so there is technology there to take down racial abuse if people saying certain words and all that sort of stuff. But obviously they're just not putting it in for whatever reason, because they don't want to upset certain demographics of people or big groups of people.
As someone who's a sort of big user of the platform, how have you found censorship?
Someone who's a big racist.
yeah.
And luckily we've got famous
racist Max Fosh.
All right, Max Fosh.
Sensational racist. Max Fosh.
How have you found sort of censorship on YouTube?
I mean, I'm not probably one to talk about censorship because my content is the most family friendly, happy,
music though, copyright on music.
Oh yeah, copyright on music is quite tricky. So I basically signed up to a couple of companies where they give you kind of copyright free music. But I started. This is a good little kind of Easter egg. All my videos have classical music on as the kind of the bed, as the background track. The reason being is because copyright on classical music, I think, goes away when the artist has been dead for 100 years.
Right.
So it was a way of basically me being able to rip music from YouTube and elsewhere and put it in my videos and not get the monetization taken away. But yeah, the whole issue and conversation about monetization and what's allowed, what's not allowed is just a whole kettle of fish. But I've luckily been all right because it's all happy smiles and
also
sensational
smart
content.
as well. Smart from your side to not be, because other people, you can use a few second clip of someone else's video just to make your point. You can talk over it, and that can still make it just that you don't get monetized from it. So they'll let the video be up there. And I've had people have said that their stuff's been demonetized on a video that's been really popular because of those sort of things.
I think we can all agree that they are quick to on anything that would hurt their profits.
Oh yeah, totally.
So it just, especially like Twitter, where a lot of this abuse seems to be stemming from, they've got to be more on it. They've got to do more. They've got to be more active in tracking it down, and because the tools are clearly there, and I just don't understand why they're not.
Twitter's wild, man. Twitter
just feels like Twitter feels like the masses have left, and it's just like a horrible cesspit left just like shouting at each other angrily.
No, Twitter is really horrible.
Yeah, that's what you find Mooch.
I love it.
I love Twitter as well.
What's your bio, Mooch?
No, at Mooch about.
It's okay, fine. Yeah, nice.
It's British flag,
Vax
red
Lord.
angry man flag.
Vax Lord 707.
Wake up, sheeple.
I'm getting hate, so I
Sure.
Right now, mate.
Yeah.
I'm getting. I posted a tweet about the crying German girl, and when everyone cheered, I said, "Was anyone else's favourite moment during the football this?" Because and then
you wonder why he got hate. Makes no
I'm
sense.
still getting hate from Germans. Like they're berating me, like cussing my girlfriend, all sorts of stuff. I mean, I'm not.
I do like the lengths that people will go to get angry at like the immediate family and friends of somebody who's made. It's as if he's put like Moo just put it in the group chat, the family and friends group chat. Guys, I'm about to tweet this. Is everyone okay with this? Everyone said, "Yep, sure." He's posted it, and then the troll. Everyone was like, "Oh, I'm going to go for his sister."
I'm pretty sure it's one person because all of these accounts that are trolling me have like 0 followers. So I think it's one person who is just.
Well, it's definitely not me. Before anyone says it's me,
you would be the obvious candidate for a troll, but like,
not me. Who's this mooch? What tweet is this? I just quickly turn off notifications on my phone. Well. I mean, they're just thinking they need to be a social justice warrior, and they really want to get you, and they don't know that you're a kind-hearted, lovable bear.
No, I'm winding them up as well. I'm stoking the fire because it's amusing to me, but like. Yeah.
You deserve each other.
I didn't miss a penalty.
Great friends.
But imagine the hate that, you know.
Well, this is the thing. Going back to the England fallout, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, if you didn't know, which everyone listening to this I'm sure would know, but England were in the Euros 2020 final. First time we got to a final in 55 years of any major football tournament. We lost, and there's been big fallout from it. The way in the build up to it, people were just getting pissed and trying to storm Wembley, and then the racial abuse afterwards of these kids, I think we didn't deserve it.
What the Euros?
Yeah, honestly, I don't want these people to be happy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm fuck them. You know what I mean? If it's just a case of a black man has to be able to win an international football tournament to be accepted by these people, fuck them. They don't deserve a good day out. And storming the Wembley and all that. To have some fucking class, man. Just chill out. It's like the people. You know what it reminded me of? You know what it's reminding me of? Was that guy who came down to defend the statues and ended up pissing on that memorial for. Was it Lee Rigby?
Yeah.
Was it? And
he got photographed pissing. No.
He got photographed pissing on it. And in the court case, I think I mentioned this on this podcast before. In the court case, they asked him, like, what was your motivation? He said, to be honest, I'd had 17 pints the night before. This is legit written down. 17 pints the night before. I wasn't sure what I was coming down for. Something about statues. And I was fucked. And that's the same people who have just ruined this day for what could have been a great day for England after a terrible year. And fuck them. Honestly, it's a disgrace. The cowards, they're not acceptable to lace these guys' boots. 19 years old. This guy, what he's done for them. It's just horrendous. And on a side note, and that's one point, the other note is, if you want to win anything, don't get an Arsenal player to take a penalty. That is the other thing I want to say.
And
that's horrendous.
Sorry, if we're actually going to go into the penalty taking, Rashford's was much shitter of a pen.
Sorry, how was Rashford's? Rashford's is about 3 inches away from being a perfect pen. Sent the keeper the wrong way. He's gone up and he's hit the post.
You got to hit the target.
That's it.
Got to hit the target.
Yeah, but
got to hit the target. It's a pen. You got to hit the target.
Well, okay, if you want to say that, but it's 3 inches away from being a perfect penalty. Whereas for Donnarumma not to have saved that, he'd have had to hit it a lot harder in a lot of different directions. Is all I'm saying. But you can't let an Arsenal player take
the Italian goalkeeper.
We should
couldn't have even been in the goal, and Rashford would have missed a pen.
You can't have Tottenham players in the team if you want to win
Max,
a
what's
tournament.
your opinion?
Yeah, sorry. It's very heated. All of this will get cut.
There was less heat on the racism issue. Now it's got to about
the real shit. This is the real.
We're now talking about 3 inches here, 3 inches there. It sounds like you guys have had this conversation before.
I've had that discussion many times. Don't worry about
that. Look, the penalties. Tom, you were right. I mean, it was going to happen. I think the awful scenes that we saw before and after on social media. What's sad is that they probably would have happened if we'd won as well. If it wasn't racist abuse towards players missing penalties, we would have seen like Italian-made cars being smashed up outside Wembley, being like, "Woo, beat you!" Yeah. So regardless, it was always going to be. I mean, obviously, it was always going to happen.
I think it's also. I mean, I think it's a minority. But it is a big minority, you know, like
a majority, if you will.
It's a big enough minority to make it seem like the majority of people are not racist. I don't think, but like there's been reports on it that 70% of these accounts that were saying this were from foreign countries, but that's still 30% from this country, which is horrendous. And I think
I agree with you. It's a minority, but it's a very vocal minority. And also for me as a football fan, it just degrades my position as a football fan, because it's like people associate football fans with this day, with this sort of thinking, these sort of actions, and I'm there being like, football's great, you get to go and support a team, you have wonderful moments, you get to share in camaraderie, we get to share in debates, it's fantastic sport to follow. But people who don't follow it are just like, you just stick a flare up your ass.
That was hilarious.
And then
that brought the country together.
And then you storm through the police, and then you slag off everyone who missed the penalty very awfully.
The only
and that's what a football fan is.
The only bit of hooliganism that was actually sort of like used for maybe a good cause during that whole day was there were people who broke into Wembley. There were loads of England fans beating
back to the community.
Genuinely, there were the people who broke in. There was loads of footage of people who had bought tickets beating up the people who broke in. So as they broke in through the door, the football fans who had paid for tickets were just punching them in the face and trying to throw them out.
So the Battle of Hogwarts. They got through the first line of defence. Professor McGonagall's there, bitch.
I've paid my fucking ticket. Kick the shit out of you. Yeah.
I think actually you're the first person to call that Wembley scene's the Battle of Hogwarts. I love that Venn diagram that you sit in. It is very good.
It's niche.
Yeah.
It's very niche.
But look, hey, I mean, I'm on a break from football at the moment. I'm chilling out about it. I'm just going to take a few weeks off because that was a wonderful 3 weeks we had of going through those
National
games.
Stag Do. We were all on.
Fucking Preeti Patel and the rest of that mob calling it, it's disgraceful racial abuse, and then on the other hand calling the Black Lives Matter stance tokenism and needless, and you're just like, what is your goal here? You have no fucking position or use of anything, do you?
Did you see the guy on GB News? There was a Welsh presenter who took the knee on GB
I did
News.
see this.
Yeah, so he took the knee on GB News to show sort of solidarity, and then everyone boycotted GB News. All they're following, it's just like the right eating itself, and then they went down to like 0 viewers because like their entire audience boycotted it.
No, but I think he's got fired.
He got fired from GB News.
I think so. I think I saw something last night where they kind of completely they put out a tweet saying GB News is here to facilitate and encourage debate on all sides, and then they use that same thread underneath that said, you saw last night one of our presenters took the knee, this is against our terms of service on GB News, and as a result this person's position is being terminated. But the fact that they were one above the other just was fantastically ironic.
That's modern truth, isn't it? That's we obviously will respect everyone's opinion, obviously. Also, can't have this opinion. Yeah. Anyway, see you next week. See you next week. But that I think that's just what the internet is now. Some stuff lasts so short term, isn't it? It's like Trump. The way the whole thing was, he just changes, flip his opinion, flip flop. Boris Johnson's the same. People don't remember anything.
24 hours news cycle.
Yeah.
People forget.
What you obviously got battled with the political figure.
Yeah.
And how did you find that whole process? Why did you decide to go after him? What was your kind of thinking behind that?
So I ran for London Mayor back in May. I came 19th out of 20. Thank you very much. Total of 27,000 votes, which is great, really scary.
Yeah,
that's really scary.
27,000 people voted for you just in London.
I didn't know
it's not even the whole country. Just in London, there's 27,000 people who vote for you.
I didn't know you had that much family.
Yeah. I came 19th out of 20. I beat Valerie Brown, who was the Extinction Rebellion candidate. She on the actual results night, I was last place because she was in custody because she'd.
She tried to like boycott a swimming pool or some kind of factory, McDonald's factory.
She
shut down.
Smashed up Barclays that morning.
You can't say she's not committed to the cause.
It would have been amazing if they had a camera of her at the police station. They go to everyone in
like Eurovision.
She's there. They go to all the people, just waving, just like.
So I ran against.
Can you imagine she won?
That was the first question that basically every single person asked me when I said that I was running for mayor. Like, but what if you win? It's like, okay, right, guys, you need about 1.5 million votes to win the London mayor election. I'm not getting that. I ran for London mayor, and the reason I did was because I saw a BBC News article about 3 weeks before the deadline to apply, which had all the candidates they thought were going to run. It had Count Binface, had Laurence Fox, had the drill minister. I sent this to a group chat of mine, And
The drill minister?
Yeah,
What, the music genre?
yeah,
Artist.
he wanted to be the drill minister.
You know Count Binhead?
Yes.
You know he's married to a comic. I was doing a gig with someone and she was like on set and she was like he was waiting in the car, Count Binhead, right?
In full costume.
No, not in costume. That was it. And then she let slip on set of the advert they were filming that Count Binhead was her husband.
Is his name Binhead? Is it?
Binface.
Binface, yeah. And then she was like, "Oh, do you want to meet him?"
They're big rivalry between those two.
There's Lord Buckethead.
Yeah.
No,
and
Lord
Count-
Buckethead.
It's the same person. Well, there's three people who played.
Yeah.
Right.
But Count Binface is genuinely a really funny guy. Like I met him out of costume and in costume,
Right.
and I spoke to him a few times on Twitter. Like I initially thought, oh, he's this absolute nutter who just dresses up with. He's actually really funny, and I could tell there was a little bit more nuance behind it than being like, aha, what a weirdo. Anyway, so I saw this BBC News article, sent it to a group chat of mine, and my mate just replied saying, "You won't run for London mayor." It's like, oh. Okay, so I had a look at the bottom was what you needed to do in order to run, and you needed to get 66 signatures from people who were registered to vote in London,
Yep.
and pay a £10,000 deposit.
Right.
And you get that deposit back if you get 5% of the vote. Now, to give some context, I think in the election we just had, only the Conservative, Labour, and Green Party got their
Deposit
back. So the Lib Dems didn't get the deposit back. So I already knew, okay, it's £10,000 just written off, but can I make that money back? So it was a massive risk, and I ended up I applied and I did all the paperwork. It was so much paperwork. And yeah, I
You have
ran
to answer
for
questions
mayor.
like, what would you do if you get the
Yeah.
What would you?
If you were mayor, what would you do?
What
would be your first thing?
Bouncy castle on every street corner.
Yeah.
mate.
And then it was a situation of I need to make probably like 8 videos out of this for me to like recoup at least some of the costs. So I then needed
Yeah, I make 10 grand per sort of every 8 videos as well. So it's
You need that, make that many.
Yeah,
Awkward.
all right, yeah.
Oh, it's normally be
So I needed
just one TikTok.
Yeah.
Whatever, mate.
Yeah,
Just a selfie. Get over it. I'm like the Kardashians in the ginger community,
Yeah.
which is very small.
gorgeous hips.
Oh yeah. I'm sitting down, but there's no chair.
No. So I needed an angle. I needed something to talk about, something to be interesting. And I saw that Laurence Fox was running, and I'd been aware of who Laurence Fox was for a while. And I saw that he'd gone acting and then did a music career and then was now going into politics. And there was a lot of hubbub about him running.
Pre the podcast, we were talking about comics pressing that right wing button to sort of gain traction. Don't you feel like he was just a failed actor who has also just done exactly the same thing? You just feel like he's just like his acting career was going down the tubes, and then he went, I'll go on Newsnight and I said something right wing, and now I've got a lot of traction. I'm just going to fucking lean into this.
Oh no, I completely. He knows exactly what he's doing. I will say that I genuinely do feel quite sorry for him. I interacted with him a few times, and I genuinely think that he's so lost. He's kind of like clutching at straws, and I think he just says just kind of these more outrageous things at various points in order to gain public attention and to get kind of more publicity.
He just feels like Katie Hopkins, doesn't he?
Yeah, and
it's talking shite for a track. It's like just tension. I don't believe.
Yeah, just
half
be
the
like everyone else, Lawrence. Just do it on a podcast and stop running for mayor, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
We're going to talk shite.
Yeah. But I feel like with her as well, like she just doesn't believe half the shit she says. She just fucking say it because she swings on her points so much as well. So like one day it'll be like eat less, one day eat more, like all this shit. She just swings, just saying shit to gain traction.
Well, I would study his tweets. I did a lot of research about him and about what he said, and he would contradict himself so within 24 hours, but because there wasn't anyone, also people didn't really care if I put that about look how contradictory he is. Well, everyone knew this. Like he said something like, I don't care whether you wear a mask, just don't make me wear a mask. He said this on a Breitbart interview. I was like, do you know what? Fine, okay, Laurence, whatever. Literally the next day, do not wear the mask. Yeah. It's awful. Something like that. It's a muzzle. Do not wear your muzzle. It's like you're complying with this tyranny. Like what?
Yeah.
Look
Change
at the
opinion.
What's the angle here?
It's because he would have got tweeted or something in that interview, and then he's gone, all right, probably should switch that up and change my stance. Like another comic that we know, Mr. Dolan, leaned into the old
Mark Dolan. Not a friend of the show. That's why he's been on.
Yeah.
If you're a friend of the show, you never get invited on. So you know where you stand with us. But there's people who do lean into. I think it's because you get feedback from a certain comment. So as you're saying, he said that about don't make me wear a mask, but you can wear a mask. And there'll probably be his followers who've been like, how could you even say, like, it shouldn't? And he's like, right, okay, so tomorrow, obviously, the more popular opinion for me is going to be, let's no one wear a mask. And but how do you counteract that then? What's your position if his position changes all the time?
For me,
Yeah.
I essentially just was so insanely polite and nice. That was my angle. Like, I'm
you
not
bastard.
I'm not,
Oh, fuck you, Foxy.
So I was basically just running on a ticket that was quite like passive aggressive and silly and just being really quite frustrating for him and his team, because he had £5 million in backing from a guy called Jeremy Hosking, who was a lead Brexit donor and Conservative Party donor, and he gave him £5 million to start this new party called the Reclaim Party.
He must be so pissed off at how shit his thing has done. If you gave even £5 million,
He got a boss out of it.
And
and he did. So
and I thought,
bad.
you know what? I've got an audience online. I reckon I could really be a thorn in the side. It'd show that, like, at the beginning, Laurence was really he found it quite funny. He kind of joined in. So my first kind of like prank, you could say, was he was unleashing unveiling his big battle bus, a big red bus. So I got my car and I got a guy to put stickers on the side that says "Don't believe everything you see on a bus," and parked it in front of his bus at the big unveiling, and then followed it around London. And so it was a bit of fun. And Laurence saw it and he was mate. I was like Laurence, can't wait to see. We're going to do battle, because we both went to Harrow, both posh boys. I was like, oh, Mr. Smith would be so proud. Look at us in the political game, and he was at the start was.
Like on board, it was fun.
And he was being quite like smiley and charming about it, and he's like, oh no, look at us, can't believe it.
So he's in the eyeballs game as well.
Yeah.
So he probably thinks, well, a famous YouTuber coming down, it's not bad for
it's
me.
not bad, but then obviously there was so I posted that video, and that video did quite well. It got, I think it was on about 350, 400,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, whatever, mate. Yeah,
and he started, people, subscribers of mine were sending me videos of them seeing Laurence in real life and like asking for a selfie, and then being like, Max Fosh is going to get more votes than you.
Right.
And so this started, who's obviously in real life was getting more and more people who were talking to him about me. And there
Real
was
life
this,
trolls.
yeah, basically. And I could see this switch.
You just mass trolled him.
yeah.
I could see the switch in his demeanor towards me changed very, very quickly.
Right.
Because then my next video I did, he was advertising, the Reclaim Party were advertising on my YouTube videos, because they obviously had given YouTube a huge advertising budget.
Can you decide?
No.
You have no say in who
You have no
advertises
say,
on you.
but YouTube will assign it to demographics that they think it makes sense to assign it to. So obviously YouTube's like, oh, this is about the London mayor, and so yeah, this makes total sense. So before my videos, there were like Reclaim Party adverts being run on it. So to say thank you for funding my campaign, I went to the Reclaim the Reclaim Party headquarters and Jeremy Hosking, his donor's office, and dressed up in a delivery outfit and delivered a Colin the Caterpillar with a note saying, thank you so much for funding my campaign.
Wow, nice.
And it was...
Did you go for traditional Colin, M&S?
Yeah, Colin...
No, what was it?
Nice,
What was the counterpart?
Cuthbert?
Not Cuthbert, no. That happened a week after. That all stuff happened a week after.
You could have killed
missed
it.
out on the Caterpillar.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got like the Lidl brand, just like, immigration one. Come on.
Do you want to quickly say as well, because there'll be listeners who might not be, or definitely won't be based in London, might not be in the UK, but the Reclaim Party.
Yes.
Because we've obviously talked about Laurence Fox before and a bit about the Reclaim Party, but their stance was essentially that like woke is killing us and we need to basically have freedom and
it was very
libertarianism.
vague, actually.
It was very vague. It was all about reclaiming your freedom, but there was very little substance in terms of just policies. Like there was very little substance in terms of policy, and that's one thing that a lot of the journalists that, can I just say, the Reclaim Party would hand-pick journalists they wanted to be there. So I would only find out the information as to where he was going to be through various moles in right-wing journalism, which shows that already the kind of the newspapers and the media outlets that he is trusting to talk about his party is leaking that information to me.
Yeah.
There's a little liberal Lenny in the Daily
hiding
Mail
in there.
who's there being like, I'm undercover.
So the Reclaim Party was just kind of like, reclaim your freedom, reclaim your right to work. It was a lot of reclaim your bags. It was just kind of like they had loads of different sentences that had reclaim it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you went to him with a Colin the Caterpillar cake, but then you said it got a bit hostile. But how did that work then?
It didn't get
or he became hostile to you.
So first of all, I went to the his head donor Jamie Hosking's office and delivered the cake. I got as far, literally, honestly, with a Deliveroo outfit, you can penetrate any office building in London. It was so scary how easy it was to say, I've got delivery for Mr. Jeremy Hosking. They're like, yeah, here's a security pass to get up to his floor. Off you go.
Yeah, but they know how mad he gets if you don't get his katsu curry. You know what I mean?
He's obviously kicked off a few times.
Serious business.
Screamed at delivery drivers.
Maybe Deliveroo's like there's a code for a different guy that comes in a Deliveroo outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the Deliveroo man. Yes, of course. Here's the code.
Fourth one
See you in 40 minutes.
I think people are just amazed that Deliveroos just don't drop it off at the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really wanted to go above and beyond. I wanted that kind of like that £2 tip. And so his PA collected the cake off me and said, "Oh, thank you very much. Jeremy is really appreciative of it." I then went to the Reclaim Party headquarters and they opened the door to me. They saw me because they recognised me from the bus video and basically closed the door in my face. I then happened to see his campaign manager walking outside, so I doorstepped him and said, I just wanted Andrew, I can't remember what he's called, Andrew, I just want to say thank you so much that you're going to be advertising on my channel, really helping me pay. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, £10,000, isn't it? But you guys got 5 million. He said, he then said, oh, actually, Laurence is on the phone now. Do you want to talk to him?
What?
So I said, so he gave me the phone. Laurence, hello, buddy. He's like, hello, Max.
Okay.
I was like, oh, how you doing, mate? I just want to say thank you. Got a call on the Caterpillar. I don't know whether you like Chocky, but I know, just a nice little gesture of thanks. And I said, I'd love to get a debate, Laurence. And he probably rather stupidly said, yes, of course, let's debate. Yeah. So I got this soundbite of him saying, come on, let's debate. And he, throughout the whole campaign trail, was very upset that Sadiq Khan wouldn't debate him. He said, I'm a candidate, you should be talking to all candidates. And so when I knew that Laurence said, let's debate, I thought, bingo.
Let's do it.
And so...
Not to diminish you in what you were doing, but
but that's all a bit shit, isn't it?
No, but Laurence Fox to Sadiq Khan is like you to hit, it's literally just like absolutely, like, if you're Sadiq Khan, you'd be like, I'm not talking this fucking, it's absolute melt. Like,
what's he not going to be there doing economic policy? He's going to be there
scream some nonsense.
He's going to be there with a guitar, but for fuck's sake, here we go.
Exactly. So
I'm just going to play you all out.
Play George Michael Freedom to start. Okay, just tune up. Has this been tuned?
Yeah.
I then the next few videos I then would try to get him to debate me. I went at him on Twitter, got a few of his kind of like lackeys on Twitter who were coming at me saying this is creepy, this is weird. I thought, I don't think it's creepy and weird. I thought you were all about having conversations and talking to people. I just want to have a conversation. That's all. I'll be here at this time. I turned up and I said, right, 10:30, I'll be outside your office, I'll come to you. I made it as easy as possible. He didn't turn up to the debate, and the next time I saw him was at election night, and he was drunk. He was drunk at election night. He said, he was saying, why do we have to go, like, why are we at each other all the time? We're making this personal now. I was like, I'm not making it personal. I just want to know why you didn't turn up to my debate. And he said, I was up in Glasgow. Oh, that's a great place to be for the London mayoral election. And eventually he just went on a rant saying, you're a narcissistic little child, you're a baby, where's your mummy, you baby.
They're hitting on you.
Yeah. But that was his kind of one
He's
thing.
He's a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
And I haven't really, he did beat me, but luckily another YouTuber managed to beat him as well, so that was all good. But it was an experience, like it just showed me that politics is really, it was kind of like a university society election.
Yeah.
It was purely, who do I dislike the least? Oh, who's my mate? That was essentially what I felt from the wider public as well, not just the individuals. And then we had this great moment where we were all corralled into this room. Honestly, not much bigger than this box we're in now.
Excuse me, very swish studio container.
Terrorist holding cell that we
record this podcast. You won't get a better container than this, lads, in this side of the river. So...
we were corralled into a room that was just like this beautifully furnished.
Thank you. Mahogany mics.
Fine.
Weirdly,
and after 6 weeks of these candidates who have just slagged each other off for 6 weeks, it was really awkward. Like, you've got Sean Bailey, Conservative candidate, you've got Laurence Fox, you've got Lib Dem, Sean Berry, the Greens, myself, Count Binface, and it was this.
What was the other YouTuber? Nico.
Nico Milano, yeah.
What was his were you and him like matey there?
Yeah, we
As
were.
I saw-
Yeah.
okay.
We kind of got along, and he has a 10 times my audience, and so he got 10 times the vote. And
Why don't we get him on then?
Yeah, you really should have tried.
Do you know him?
No, he said, "Can we come on?" We're like, "No,
No.
you can't," because we've got Max Fish.
Yeah.
Max, we've got the wonderful Max Fosh, the
Yeah.
sensation.
Yeah.
And it was really awkward. And Count Binface, thank God, everyone was stood there, awkward, no one say anything, and he just went. So I've gathered you all here today, and it was the perfect way to just break the ice. Everyone was just that, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that's happened now, and there was a little bit of banter. I spoke to Peter Gammons, the UKIP party.
Oh yeah.
And I beat him in one constituency in West London. And I said, mate, I had your trousers down in Central West. And
Classic line.
Yeah, classic line.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. He then said the line, not what I thought he was going to say. He looked at me and went, it doesn't really matter though, does it?
Wow.
I thought, hold on, for me it doesn't matter. You're the leader of UKIP.
Yeah.
You're a genuine political party.
You guys were all trying. That's the funny thing. Do you think Fosh? What do you think? Laurence Fox? Did you think he spent all his 5 million quid?
No, so you're allowed to spend up to £470,000 on the mayoral run.
Right.
But I think that £5 million is for various other kind of campaigning and bits and bobs.
Is he sticking with the Reclaim party?
Yeah,
Is that
he's
still
very much
going?
in with the Reclaim Party. And a little bit of insider gossip, which I cannot confirm officially to be true. But with the London mayor election, you get 2 votes. You get first preference and your second preference. So Jeremy Hosking, the donor of the Reclaim Party, apparently put Laurence Fox as his first preference and me as his second preference because apparently he admired my gumption, which is the poshest compliment you could possibly
Well,
imagine.
Like
he looked at the
Emperor
other candidates.
Palpatine.
Yeah, he looked at the
standing there like you're like Anakin, and he's like, "I'll come for you. Don't worry. Give it 10 years. You'll want to reclaim something, won't you?"
He's just kind of grooming me for my place. And then
Wow.
after the result, I announced my immediate retirement from all forms of politics.
That's amazing. Well, I mean,
hilarious.
looking back on it, are you glad you did it?
Yeah, I lost quite a lot of money. The 8 videos were not enough to make back that £10,000, but I think I lost about £3,500 doing it. But it was a great experience. It did wonders for the channel. And the other reason as well, like the fun side of it, was annoying Laurence Fox, which was to just encourage more young people to vote. And I said, do not vote for me. Look at all the candidates and make an informed decision. I genuinely do think that did have an effect. Like I had a lot of people message me saying, oh, my kind of younger brother or my younger cousin, a few teachers saying, oh, my whole class are talking about it. So hopefully in the future that has galvanised the younger generation to get voting.
Get
Nice.
involved.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
great.
really good.
What a good bloke.
Which is
Yeah,
priceless.
like,
That's
Yeah,
priceless.
yeah.
So going on to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So your story is you not just this, but you blew up a lot with one video on another YouTuber's website. Where
Yes.
You were pretending to be a model
Yeah.
down at London Fashion Week.
Mm.
How did you find going from, what was it, like a couple thousand to like 60,000 subscribers basically overnight? Was there a big change in your life, or did you not really impact you?
No, it was a big change in my life. It allowed me to suddenly do YouTube full time. So we did this video.
Just that one video?
Yeah, just that
Wow.
one video because it suddenly... I did, what was lucky is that I had about 50 videos on my channel for people to watch, because often what happens if you get a viral video to that level, you'll have a lot of attention on you for 2 days, 48 hours. But if there's nothing to watch, or if there's nothing to keep that audience there, they will move on very, very quickly.
Just quickly for the listeners, do you want to explain that initial viral video and what it was and what happened?
Yeah, so I was mates. I just graduated from uni. I was in London. I was filming for another YouTube pair called Zach and Jay, and they came to me and they said, "Hi Max, we've got a video idea around London Fashion Week. The only problem is it finishes tomorrow, so we need to do it today." I said, "Okay, what's the idea?" It's like, well, we don't really know. We're going to dress you up in stupid stuff, go to the Strand where all the shows are happening, get a camera, flash the camera, shout your name, and just see what happens. So we did just that, and we wore some stupid stuff. We got pink marigold. We got marigold gloves and we snipped the fingers off. So we got arty. Chemistry safety goggles. Fragile packing tape.
See, this is the goggles origin story.
Yeah.
This is where
There you go.
I first knew I wanted to make sunbed goggles when I wore chemistry goggles.
It's actually very clever. He's like weaving an arc of a story in at the end. He's just going to
Subliminal
produce
messaging.
the goggles
Here
at
we
the
go.
end, and you can buy these.
Yeah.
MaxFosh.co.
Yeah.
And so I was wearing like fragile packing tape, really stupid stuff. And we went to the Strand and did just that. Triggered the flash. Max, over here. Paparazzi.
Really?
All like, who is, because in that scenario, it's just like about the number of photos they have and they don't want to miss out on potentially seeing somebody who is important. So I was getting loads of photos. One of my mates then became like my ipso facto agent, and so they were kind of like fielding questions as to who is he? He's just come in from Bucharest. He's called Maximus.
Yeah.
Bucharest.
Yeah.
He's really hot stuff at the moment, looking to go to a couple of shows tomorrow, and it worked. Like that evening on Instagram, like from like hashtag like street fashion of London, I was on all of the hashtags, on all of the pages of photographers, and we then used that, leveraged it to get invited to a show on the final day, the next day. So I went to the show, and I had a few like gags lined up in my head. So for example, a lot of the stuff we'd got was from WH Smith, so I was wearing a lot of stationery. And I was prepared for when someone asked me, who are you wearing? So I looked at what W&H stands for in WH Smith. So I just said, I'm wearing Walton Henry Smith, which sounds like the most like fashion designer you could imagine. And it worked. Like people were asking, I love your look. Like, gosh, this is amazing. Can I give you my card? I'm a stylist. I love it. And for some reason, it encapsulated the public's imagination and it went just so megally viral. Yeah. I was on the front page of the Pakistani Evening News talking about fashion.
I was going to say, that's why I first came into contact with you.
Yeah. You out in Lahore
my
doing
favourite newspaper, exactly. Out in Lahore doing the indoor gigs out there.
And from there it just kind of blew up their channel and my channel as well. Theirs much more than mine, which was frustrating, but they were the ones who edited the video and made the videos.
It's interesting how the two different worlds that you've sort of gained quite a lot of success are just facades.
Yeah, it's total
like
fakery.
The fashion world and politics, which just
We're going quite deep here. You don't want to get famous for.
Are you fake?
Who are you, Max Fosh?
Is Max even your name?
Yeah.
No. I couldn't believe that Max Fosh was a real name anyway.
I think it's interesting, like exposing the bullshit in industries like politics and fashion. That's why people love it.
It doesn't really get old as well. It's quite a tried and tested method, and it's not new or original. And this is one thing I say to people on YouTube. You don't need to have a really fresh, new, original idea. Like,
thank God.
Joke candidates in politics have been around for years. Camp Binface, Lord Bucket, Al Murray.
Yeah.
Monster Raving Loony Party.
They wanted to carpet the M1. That was like hilarious. And so one of my policies was I wanted to carpet the M25. I just made it more London-centric. And then with the fashion show video, that's been done for years as well. I mean, Uber Butler did it for Vice about 4 or 5 years ago. And
Bruno.
Bruno.
Yeah.
It's not new. It's just kind of doing it again 2 years later with a little bit of a twist, and then suddenly it captures the imagination again. Yeah.
But so going back to suddenly you had 60,000 subscribers now, because before you must be making videos like, I want to be, I don't know, did you want to be a YouTuber? Was that your goal? But I
want to be a radio presenter.
Yeah. So you were making videos to help with your radio career. So suddenly you wake up, you got 60,000 subscribers. Are you now like, right, okay, my videos have to be a certain level? Is there pressure now? Or did you not really feel like you're just going to do the same thing?
There was pressure, but I just ended up doing the same thing. I was like, God, there's now people watching. I'll do the same thing that I've been doing for 2 years that hasn't worked.
Yeah, that's how I feel gigging. It's a great gig. Should probably do something good.
It's not 2 years, it's 5. That's the only difference.
Exactly, it's much more. 5 is what I tell people. It's actually 12. Started gigging when I was 15.
So has it helped at all with, do you still have aspirations to be a radio presenter or be in radio in any way?
No. I do actually. I would love to work at Radio 1, and I did a video, again, like talking about old ideas. There was an idea of a guy in 2008 during the financial crash. He bought a billboard with his last £500 that said hiresam.com. He got a job. He then bought his first paycheck, the same billboard. Thanks so much. Love from Sam. Anyway, that captured the imagination in 2008, and I thought, how could I do exactly the same thing now? And all I did was I just printed my CV on the top of my car and parked it outside of Radio 1. And that did really, really well, and people enjoyed that. And so I would love to work in radio, but with radio, especially commercial radio, you don't have that much freedom to do any entertaining as such, because it's much more valuable for the station to play adverts, which they can make money from, than it is for their presenter to be entertaining or original.
It's just talking about like kind of building a YouTube audience and then like transferring it into something else. Have you had offers from radio or anything like that? Have you had people approach you because of YouTube stuff?
No, the radio stuff is really funny, because I did, when I just left university, try to go into radio, and I was up at Newcastle University, and so I had a few offers for demos.
Right.
It's like, welcome back to Radio Newcastle. Radio Newcastle.
The accent, that's brave.
Yeah. I'm going for it.
Norway, man.
Why did you go with your Pakistani accent?
Yeah, I'll try it again. It's like, welcome back to Heart Northeast. We got Max Fosh here in the studio. How are you doing today? And I was like,
that's good, yeah.
Hello, good to see you. Welcome back to Heart Northeast. And so obviously that radio career didn't quite take off.
Is that how you get into radio? You have to do like a demo kind of show?
You go into the studio and they give you like...
Tom, stop trying. You're a podcaster. Just stop trying to get different careers. Every week, he's like, so is that how you... Oh, fisherman. It's not too hard, is it?
Do you know anyone?
I've brought my CV.
Yeah.
So what's interesting, though, so you wanted to go into radio, and the freedom and stuff like that, but do you think that's just a natural change in media anyway? Like, it's just more fun, more accessible, better paid if you just go and do your own channel? Or
yes,
do you think, would you, if a TV channel came to you and were like, we want you to do the Max Fosh show, would that still be a thing for you? Or you're like, no, I'm happy with what I've got in YouTube, and I get complete autonomy? And I mean, where do you lie on that now in terms of going into something commercial?
I was speaking to Tom about this before. It's funny because TV now, or let's talk about TV or radio, it still has the social kudos amongst the demographic above the age of 25 to be like, oh, I've got a TV show. Oh, that's great. But in actuality, it won't pay better. It will be much slower in terms of the output of content. The audience is 90, unless you've got a kind of a primetime slot on
you'd show like a Line of Duty.
Yeah, like a Line of Duty. That you won't. It's not going to get better views. If I can speak quite crassly here, in 2020, I got 22 million views on YouTube. Now.
That's more than I've had.
No.
Yeah.
The reason I bring that up is not to be a total knob. The point is to show that if you think of a TV show that happens once a year, like a Love Island or a Shipwrecked or Live at the Apollo, whatever, they might get maybe 200,000 to 300,000 views an episode, and they're making 20 episodes across the entire year. That's 6 million views. So
you're better than all those shows.
No.
Saying Love Island's a piece of shit.
Having Max Fosh in, who just slagged off the whole industry, but it's like, no.
But it shows that TV is like
Max Fosh better than Apollo.
Yeah.
I'm more popular and sexier than everyone on Love Island was the quote.
Yeah.
But I can. But it's eyeballs, man. It's like what people are watching, and also as well, the thing with those TV shows is, they might have it on, but they'll be on their phone while they're watching it. So even that viewership, they're distracted whilst the show's going on.
Your audience is more valuable to advertisers because it's so specific, and you can show like potential advertisers analytics, and then you can see who your audience are. They know exactly your demographic and where they live and stuff. So it's more valuable kind of thing. Whereas with TV, you are just scattergunning and hoping that you hit some people.
Yeah, that's why I avoided TV.
Yeah,
and they will come in. They're like, Ali, mate, we need you. I'm like, no, mate. I'm doing my own, captain on my own ship here. I've got 150 YouTube subscribers. You don't want to leave them behind?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Unless actually, Tom, you are, unless you're watching cricket or sport on the Sky Sports, it's hilarious. If you've ever watched sport on Sky Sports, the adverts are for erectile dysfunction, hair loss, and wine. Yeah. It's like we know exactly who is watching this.
Ali's every single
Ali
one.
is watching.
I'm there with a bottle of sangria and a semi.
Yeah. And your hair loss pills, just snorting them.
Slipping my hands off my scalp. Yeah, exactly.
Big night. Yeah.
So going back to that Newcastle radio and why that didn't work out, and the posh side of things.
Yeah.
So we work in an industry where a lot of people try to play down their background, their poshness, because they want to be seen as salt of the earth people. I mean, you're sitting with two of them right here. But you've obviously lent in to being, if not the posh guy, but one of the words to describe your style and who you are is that, and you talk to posh people, and that you've done very popular videos on that. How have you found that? Like, do you get stick for it? Was it a conscious decision? Did you ever try and be like, I'm going to be Max from the streets, the mean streets of Harrow, public education?
Roadman Max.
Roadman Max. Yeah, Road Max. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road is actually about my life.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Bosh on Bosh.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued to say, like, so mainly the conscious decision bit. Could you just not do anything else, or were you like, no, I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to be unashamedly posh? Because a lot of people in our industry, comedy, they try to keep it down, although 30 under 30s, and they're like, I just had to make it through tough times, and you find out like their mum and dad are both investment bankers or something like that.
There's a lot of that.
I tried to hide it massively. I massively tried to hide it because of that exactly. I wanted to be kind of my own person, not just be, that's the posh guy. I think, and I didn't really realise that it would work until I started taking the piss out of other posh people. Because it was the only way that I could really punch up was by doing videos in which I took the piss out of posh
That's
people.
That's why I do podcasts with Tom.
So I can't be mean to him. It's like, for me, it's like charity. So
it's part of his community outreach projects.
Yeah. I got to find a poor ginger kid and I got to look after him.
Inside. Yeah. So you punched up.
Yeah, punching up, and it meant that the initial stuff that like, let's take the piss out of Max because he's posh. It's no, there's even more posh people that Max.
I'm nothing compared to these guys.
Yeah, I'm from the streets. Look at these shuffles. So it was
my
definitely
croquet mallet will do some damage on in ends. Don't worry about that. Crouch ends mainly, but
you give me 3 meters with a cricket ball. And
exactly. You watch. Yeah. You watch. Don't.
Let me have a run up.
Yeah, exactly.
I can take you out, mate.
Smash you with some off spin if you don't mind.
Right arm over.
Yeah.
So it was like something that I consciously did, like, right, let's lean into it. But since COVID, I've now tried to then move away from that and try something else, because on YouTube you become very quickly known for a certain type of content. I was the guy who interviewed posh people, and then I've now become the guy that ran for mayor. Yeah. And so with YouTube, you've constantly got to be coming up with these new things that change things.
So have you thought of like another industry that you want to tackle next?
Stand up.
You're fair, yeah.
Stand up.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. How have you found getting into stand up? Because obviously you've had such success with, and they're comedy videos. They are funny videos. So, and a live audience, me and Tom know well, it's just a different kettle of fish. And how have you found it?
Totally different kettle of fish.
And also, was this something that you've always wanted to do, or was this something you thought would be a good idea for the next phase of your career?
It's both. I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to do the Fringe with my own show, and so I was going to do the Fringe in 2020.
Are you sure?
Yeah. When you go, like, we've done the Fringe a lot, and I wouldn't advise it. Honestly, selling out the Clapham Grand, which Max has done very impressively, is much better than doing 3 shows a day at the Fringe.
It's quite romantic, though, the idea of going to the Fringe.
Until you're there. And then
also as well, I mean, it's an amazing. Well, it was. I mean, who knows what it's going to be like?
Yeah, it's true.
Even this year, it's not going to be the same. It didn't happen last year. Maybe next year. Who knows? But the atmosphere there is incredible in terms of the amount of stuff going on, the amount of people buzzing around. But the problem is, if you've got your own show and you're focused on that, it can be very tiring. But
you're
as a punter, it's fabulous.
It's great as a punter, and as a comic, it's really hard and very stressful. But you will meet really great people, and you'll bond over how hard and stressful.
Yeah, and also you come out of it having done like 100 gigs in a month,
and you'll be banging.
You'll be much better.
That September, you'd have like 5 gigs that week, and you're like, oh my god, what a relaxing week compared to what you were doing before, which is like 3 gigs a day.
And also like you'd see comics like on the circuit, like the people who've been to the Fringe and hadn't been to the Fringe, the people who came back, it's like they'd just been like in the gym for like they came out and they were so good, and you'd be like, fuck, I should have gone.
I've forgotten what comic called it, and I wasn't a big watcher of the show, but in Dragon Ball Z there's like an orb or something where he goes into
sorry for the pure nerd references of this podcast.
The comic I can't remember the name of was you guys ever watch Dragon Ball Z? Yeah, it's an amazing episode.
Got any games on your phone?
Yeah, Goku, that's his name, and he goes into this thing and he trains for like what the equivalent of like 1,000 years, but just does it in like a year because this machine and it's like that's what it advances you quicker.
Yeah.
So you wanted to go to the Fringe doing your own stand-up show, or was it going to be like a media tech?
Yeah, I wasn't kind of ballsy enough to be like, right, I'm going to grab a microphone and do the "So My Wife," right, like that kind of material.
I mean, you don't have a wife, so
exactly. It would have absolutely
weird stand-up gig.
So my wife doesn't exist. Anyway, how are we doing tonight, guys? We good?
One day she'll be my wife.
legit.
I stand outside her house, and one day,
My wife doesn't know she's my wife yet. I love you so much.
I think we started. We spoke a little bit about just before the pod. I think you just need to, if you're going into stand-up, just respect it and try your hardest with it and get your reps in and gig and then you'll be fine. Because there have been people, unfortunately, who have had big followings and not respected it and tried stand-up and it's just been fucking awful.
Oh, completely agree. And what I would say to that is just come and watch the show of mine just to see. I've worked on this show for like 2 years. It is multimedia. It's not too far removed from the Max Fosh YouTube guy. So there isn't as much pressure for me to come up with some incredible sketches or jokes because there is a lot of like story-based stuff in it. So for example, I've got a whole section where I wore a secret like clip-on microphone to one of my mum's really posh drinks parties, and just like the little interactions I was having with all of her friends, like trying to explain what I did at YouTube and like the questions that they had, which was all financial based. It was like, it was all like, how much money are you making this month? It's like, oh, bloody hell, Roger. So it's I've got a show written. I'm doing a UK tour in September and October, going to 13, 14 cities, and it's just gonna like, let's give it a go. I mean, not that is slightly being
just
give it a go.
Just whack it out, mate. Got it hard.
But is I was saying that there will be a jealousy element from a lot of comics because you've jumped. For us, we know, for instance, you sold out the Glees, right?
Yeah.
So you sold out the Glees, which are clubs that we would love to play with 3 other comics on a Friday night kind of thing. And they're, we've been going to stand-ups for years. So for us, we're like, you see someone who's just fucking sold it out, you've kind of bypassed all the shit, which there have been people do it. Ricky Gervais is like the best example. He got big for a different thing, but then was fantastic at stand-up, and everyone just shut the fuck up very quickly. Because there were lots of naysayers when Ricky did it, kind of thing. So it's just like...
What was his first tour? What was his first comedy show?
Was it Famous, or was it... I can't remember.
Was it
Famous was early. I think it might be in the second one.
And how close after The Office was it?
Maybe about 4 years.
A few years. It wasn't just like second series of The Office is out and also I'm touring.
Right.
I think second series of The Office was like 2003 or 4. The Christmas special was like 2003 or 4, and then I think he did his first gig maybe 2-3 years after that.
Okay.
And
first tour.
Yeah, and lots of people were sort of like, especially at Edinburgh.
Also had a podcast as well, which was very popular.
Yeah, people were really pissed off. I remember in Edinburgh, like that you always hear people talk about it. It's like he sold out Edinburgh Castle, which is sort of like unheard of kind of thing. And like he had like posters being like, "You'll never get a ticket in Edinburgh."
Yeah. He purposely. I remember getting interviewed on the Jonathan Ross show and this would have been years ago then because that was when I was on BBC. But he put up a poster in the middle of Leicester Square when the tickets were already sold out. Just he was like, and Jonathan Ross was like, "Why are you doing that?" And he went, "Fucking because I've sold out, innit? Fuck them."
Yeah.
He's just like I want to be cool. But that was his famous one. I think that was his second one. But I'm interested though. Your first time doing stand up.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? What were you? Nervous? Did you talk to a lot of stand-ups? Did you just think, well, I'm gonna just crack on? Did you talk to your mates? Did you invite your mates?
No.
Where was it?
It was in a open mic night in Dalston.
Nice.
I'd already written the show that, well, the show's obviously changed massively, but it was the first iteration of the show, which was about 25 minutes long, and I thought, right, I can't go on stage for the first time ever doing stand-up with my show that I've written for a while, so I'll do a few open mic nights wherever I can. No one knows I'm here. No one knows what's going on.
Yeah, no one's there.
Yeah, no one's there. So I went to one in Dalston in East London. I didn't tell anyone I was going, and the audience was just other comedians. So every
What night was it? What night was it?
Yeah, we'll definitely know.
I can't remember.
It would have been, if it was in Dalston, it would have been
We Are Funny
it might have been
Project?
We Are Funny, or it might have been Sam.
Maybe
Sam Dunthorpe, something like that, or it would have maybe.
I think he was called Sam. I'm
Did he have
pretty sure
a
he was
beard?
called Sam.
Yeah,
It was like Comedy Explosion or something.
Something like that. That was it.
Oh wow, that is
That was it. And I went.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tonight.
wow, you got on that one.
Yeah. Rocked up, and again, it was like what do I talk about? Oh, I went
Sam
to
Rhodes.
That's it.
Oh, I'm confusing my
God,
sound.
I haven't heard that name in 3 years.
To be fair, I've never even done it, so I have no idea what.
So,
But
This is a song about a dog.
I went to Sam Rhodes' Comedy Explosion. It was more of very much a small detonation rather than an explosion.
A couple of those poppers you throw on the floor.
Yeah, it was a flashbang.
Yeah.
And I went there and literally
it might have just been that night. Who knows?
Yeah,
We don't
could have
know.
been.
But yeah.
No,
Let's not
So
slag
it
it
was,
off, it's good
it's
content.
very much that is an open mic.
It was an
That
open
is-
mic,
it's
and there
not-
was 25 other people there. All of them were doing 5 minutes.
Classic.
And I sat there and kind of like, what am I going to... I'd rehearse like a 5-minute bit about going to private school beforehand. And I went up there, absolutely died on my arse.
Nice.
Fair enough, everybody else was dying on their arse, so that was okay. And I remember the guy after me was this enormous bloke, about 6'5", hoodie, indoors, even though it was boiling, a little bit like Ali is right now.
I'm quite wedged.
And he just went up and said, if anybody wants to heckle, no, I'm carrying a knife. And then just did a set.
So you stole your material as well.
So it was, I didn't know, obviously that probably was a joke, but I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely terrifying, and I just did it. I was like, right, that's done. That's done. Now let's try and do show to selling to my audience. And then the next question was how many people will want to come and see a YouTuber who has got no track record in comedy. And this was just before COVID, and I was kind of doing 20-seater, 25-seater, 30-seater. And we got it up to about 80 or 90, and then COVID hit. You're right, every single time getting better and doing you write things that you don't think are funny that are incredibly funny on the night, and then vice versa. And so I did maybe 15 shows of that, of just kind of like my material, but also like do a lot of crowd work. So I realized that people knew me for the interview style stuff, and I'd already honed my coming up with funny things on the spot with the camera for the last 3 years. So I wasn't really going in cold, it was just doing it in front of an audience now. So I then just doing the stuff with the audience, and then like we're here with like a 65-minute show.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
So, I like it. To be honest, what you've done is absolutely amazing, and it's for everyone, all the comics or all the people who are jealous. It is just, you know,
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em. Yeah, fuck 'em. Yeah,
But
like, fuck 'em. Like this is why should you have to do whatever route it is?
There
to
is
get
no
there,
rules. There's
doesn't
no
mean
there's
anything.
one path. It's kind of like that. I love seeing people like succeed in whichever way they are possible. We've seen lots of our friends who are popping up on TikTok and stuff like that, and there's always some people in groups going like with better stuff. But it's like, mate, just let them get to where they want to be. You've got people like Nigel Unn who's fucking smashing it.
He blew up on YouTube quicker than I could have ever. Like from a YouTube point of view, his rise on YouTube was insanely quick.
Was
And
it
it's amazing-
3.5 million subs? Or something?
Literally from zero
Yeah.
over the course of lockdown.
It's amazing how much how much he's got out of rice.
And there's plenty more to come.
He's
Don't
still
worry about
making
that.
rice videos, and people are still loving them. And
You
it's like,
talk about finding a niche and just smashing it.
Smashing it. He's got it.
He hasn't even started on noodles. You know how scary that is. You know how scary that is.
Yeah. He said that noodle corner.
And then obviously people will be like, I join you for the rice videos.
Videos, you fuck. Yeah.
You sell out.
But Tom, you do a lot of TikTok stuff that does very, very well.
Yeah.
Have you seen that it is transferred from the TikTok side of things over into like stand-ups in terms of like audiences?
So, like, we'll say, and this is, I mean, I can't speak for Ali, but both of us, right? So, pre-lockdown, Nigel was on our podcast, right? And we were talking to him, and he was like, "You boys should get on online stuff," and we were like,
Well, TikTok specifically. He was
TikTok,
like-
I was just
and
like,
he was just miming along to like an Ali Wong set or something.
yeah, and we were like, oh, I don't, whatever. Anyway, lockdown hit. Both got pretty heavily involved in it, and like now we're seeing like there's no denying it's not been beneficial for our careers, like massively so. We'll see if it's interesting to know like how many followers do you need to sell something out. It's quite interesting. Like you're what on Instagram? How many? Do you think it's what audience do you think you're getting to your live shows? Do you think the majority from Instagram or majority from YouTube? YouTube.
And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing people going like blowing up on TikTok, but they really then once they've got that audience on TikTok, they're trying to funnel them into YouTube because TikTok, of the way that you use the app, it is so you don't think about it and it's being served to you, whereas on YouTube you actively seek it out and you watch it. Also the watch times as well. Someone said a really like good point, which was like TikTok is a little bit like a poster you see in Times Square. 1 million people are going to walk past it and see it, but very, very few are actually going to like take it in or understand.
Take action from it.
And so YouTube, I think, is still kind of number one in terms of a community builder. If you have that YouTube audience, is so valuable.
Do you not think Instagram's quite, because of stories and all of that, there's quite a lot of heavy level of interaction there?
There is interaction there, but Instagram, we've just found out Instagram is dying a bit of a death because Instagram have a total identity crisis. They announced this week that they are no longer a photo sharing platform because they are now trying to compete with TikTok in terms of Reels. So that is incredibly scary if you've used Instagram as a platform for a long period of time.
Or for but so they're saying you won't be able to share photos?
Well, you will be able to share photos, but they will be pushing Reels, videos, short videos.
Keep plugging those Reels there.
So keep going with Reels because that is what they're going to be giving their audience.
They tried to take on YouTube with IGTV, didn't they? And that's not really taken.
I don't think that YouTube has a competitor for what it is. The YouTube is trying to go into it with YouTube Shorts.
TikTok is coming for them though, because you see the video length is. So you've already got 3-minute videos on. Thing, that's only going to grow, and that's what everyone is sort of watching. They're all watching TikTok because like a lot of people are saying that TikTok is sort of like YouTube in like 2009. You know.
Also, I think YouTube's competitors are big broadcasters now. The Netflix, Amazon Primes.
Yep.
That because as we know as well, and you know, I'm sure people will sit and watch YouTube videos for hours. People think, you can't do a 4-minute thing on YouTube. It's gonna be too long for people to watch. It's like, are you kidding me? People, and you flick from video to video, and you know, and we know it, and how comedy's changed, and that people used to do hour specials, and now a lot of people are putting out half an hour specials. They're putting out chunks. They're clipping up their stuff. So people will sit on a comedian's YouTube page and they'll watch an hour, 2 hours of stuff, but it will be like 18 videos in that time, but they won't realize the time is passing like that.
Yeah.
So, and what do you spend time with that in terms of the screen? Netflix, Amazon Prime and stuff like that. And obviously the traditional broadcasters are trying to catch up with all those lot, but but not if they can't get Fosh on board. They're not going to have any chance, mate.
I think TikTok will take over the world. It is like frightening how effective and good
the algorithms
TikTok is.
We rate it like
the way it finds its audience.
You can't deny its algorithm is just like if it's a video that people like, they watch it. You know, that's it.
Oh no, totally. But what TikTok do, and their CEO has said this is one of their big aims, is that they encapsulate the idea that anybody can be famous, anybody can have a viral video, and so they make the creation process as like the barrier to entry as low as possible. So you have the sounds and the reels and what's trending, so that can go viral. And as a result, that draws people in. Everybody wants to be famous. And so that is what TikTok is doing incredibly well, to get a viral video.
Not me. That's why I do this podcast.
You just have to be a big
we have
t-shirt
this doesn't go out.
Yeah, no, it's just us.
Well, there's just 2 fans, and hello both of you. You know, mum and dad. But like, so it's so TikTok are you know, they've harvested that kind of want for everyone to be famous. And do you think they will be able to expand it into longer format and grow it as a platform?
I don't think so personally. I mean, I might be quite naive in saying that. Yes, they have been able to move to a more 3-minute length video. But I think the really effective stuff on TikTok is the 7-second Vine-esque jokes or fails or whatever it is, or sketches, that are much shorter, because you think who's using that content? It's the younger generation. They have a shorter attention span. We still have, I think, a desire for longer form content, like we're seeing on Amazon Prime. Shows doing really well. Line of Duty just smashing all figures. Like Clarkson's Farm on Amazon is what everyone's talking
people
about.
Still watch films.
People are still loving films.
Love a 2.5 hour film. You know?
I think it's how people consume TikTok as well, because if you're used to just flicking through things, and if you don't like it, you know, it's gone. Whereas YouTube, people watch it on a laptop, or if they've got it clicked up to their connected up to their television, and it's a bit more of a long form thing.
It is. Sorry.
I was just going to say that.
Sorry, I don't know why the producer's getting involved. Apologies, Max. Are you okay? Sorry about that.
All right, but that was scary.
yeah. I don't know what that was about.
No, I was just going to say, do you think YouTube will? Because they're going to release shorts, right?
They're pushing the hell out of shorts.
Yeah, but so we haven't got it yet. I thought in the UK, I thought there was
we do have it. We do have it.
Oh.
It's now available on shorts, and it's the same. Like, we're seeing huge growth with creators getting to 1 million subscribers within 6 months.
So we need to be on shorts as well.
Well, you can do shorts, but again, it's not. If you want lots of numbers, go for it. If you want meaningful connection that you can then transfer it into viable businesses or other ventures, then I think you need to have that community aspect, which you will get with longer form video.
I think you're short. Like so you could clip up some of your street smart stuff.
Oh, I do, and TikTok is absolutely bangs.
Yeah.
It bangs, and it's great. But then I look at I'm not making any money. Like I had a video that did my best ever video, about 10 million views. Oh bloody hell, this is mental. I made £65 from it.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So like, and nobody.
Yeah. That's
like,
why I don't do popular ones.
Yeah.
There's no point in it.
Undercover. He's got a lot of videos about staying inside.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of videos being like, okay, let's see the truth, right? These fembots are out of, they're insane, right?
I think 50,000, well, a 10,000 view video on YouTube is more valuable in the long term.
Can we talk serious money on YouTube?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
What's kind of, how many subscribers do you
Sound like
need?
you're at his garden party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's what the
how
show
much
is about.
cash are you making on the old
I don't
on the
really
old
care about
tube?
whatever clock app this
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
let's talk about money, right? Can you put down on a house? Because you're going to need to. You're going to have a wife in the next
That's
couple of
genuinely
years.
the question. It's like, could you buy a house?
Could you buy a house?
Yeah. So, like, how many subscribers do you need to actually like, make a living? Would you say on YouTube?
Your subscriber number is purely a vanity number. It means nothing because of the way they changed the algorithm. So initially, if you had subscribers, YouTube would notify your subscribers whenever you posted a video, which means you'd get more subscribers. And it was kind of like closed loop. YouTube realized that closed loop would cause people to be on the website for a shorter period of time. So you click on a video, and now instead of subscribing, they will then offer you a video for another channel. So you then hop. So it means that if you have subscribers, it means YouTube won't necessarily notify them when you have posted a video. So it's more to do with views. Now, if we're talking about how much money you make per view, on average, I will probably make about £2,500, £3,000 per million views. So on a good month, I'm making like 1.5 million views, so £3,000, £3,500. But that's where the diversification of your revenue is so important, because I know that's not going to last forever. The shelf life of a YouTuber is short because
that's why you got to get merch, man.
You got merch.
You need to get that merch going.
So
tour
here's
sales.
We'll let you in on a little secret here,
Yeah.
Max.
Have you got a?
There's Vauxhall Comedy Club t-shirts.
Are there?
And we said, oh, cheers, Mooch, we'll wear them. And he went, yeah, of course you can. 15 quid each, lad.
Max, if you would like one free,
Yeah, this is the exact thing.
You absolute tart.
What size are you, mate?
I'm a medium.
Cool, we got medium
on a
for
good
you.
day.
You're quite a
Medium
long
for
man.
you.
You're quite a
Yeah.
long man, aren't you? More than a medium, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
No worries.
Long boy.
That's what his girlfriend said.
Yeah.
Huh?
More than a medium.
More than a medium. If the rumours are to be believed.
The blue chatters are right.
So yeah, we were going to get AIDIF hats.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for about 3 years.
All I do is fail condoms.
Yeah. Don't make mistakes. We should have condoms that don't work.
Yeah, that's
Do
Fail
well.
condoms.
Yeah.
Just none of the sensitivity, none of the protection. that's our podcast slogan. So yes, merch. So you have to diversify your income, and
Yeah.
obviously live stuff
And
as
live
well,
stuff.
which
And the
you're-
live stuff, like you were saying there, that the t-shirts cost £15.
No, they're £10 a general public, just £15 for me and Tom.
£15.
well, it's
Yeah.
double printed. It's 2 prints. It's more expensive.
But I think now people, especially with COVID, want experiences. Like you're probably seeing downstairs with people like turning up to the shows a lot more because
Oh mate, can't get enough. And also, speaking of which, thanks Max. Every Tuesday we run AIDIF Tuesdays here, Vauxhall Comedy Club stand-up show. You can get in. £5 will get you a seat and a free drink. So you're basically making money. Back to you.
There you go. So people are much more likely to have experiences than they are with like stuff, because we've spent the last 16 months just buying stuff to make us feel better. And so I think at the moment definitely we'll see a lot more experience-based stuff is selling really, really well. Like if I was going to try and sell loads of t-shirts rather than the stand-up tour, which was exactly the same price in terms of ticket, like 15 to 20 quid, I think I'll probably sell more.
Surely you should sell t-shirts at the tour.
Oh yeah, I will. I'm
Yeah.
still going to do that. Yeah, I'm still
Okay.
going to do that.
What do they say?
Something about that. I don't know.
Fosh Lord.
Yeah,
something.
Fosh
The Fosh Pit.
Yeah, nice.
Got involved. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Cool.
something like that.
Well, I mean, it's an exciting stage of your career, man, and
Yeah, thanks very much.
All props to you. It's a fantastic stuff, and we'll
We'll come down.
We'll have-
We'll
Now,
have-
please come to the. I'm doing loads of shows like from the 20th to the 26th doing just like work in progress shows
Great.
before the time. Couple of comps your way. Come on, boys. Come on.
And if
down.
you need an opener, I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
do it. It's beneath me. But Tom,
Yeah,
I'm open for YouTube. Are you kidding me? But Tom will do it. He likes stage time, so. But genuinely, you can catch Max, and they can get. There's still tickets left. Are they all
There's
sold out?
still tickets
and
left,
check out
yeah.
your website.
yeah, maxfosh.co.
Don't even need the UK, mate.
Don't even need the
Not
UK.
Pigeonholing
Code.
himself.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah,
Daddy.
yeah. That's you and Pitbull. So the two. But yeah, you can get tickets, and also obviously everyone knows to follow you on your
We don't
socials
need
as
to.
well.
Don't subscribe. It's pointless.
Don't subscribe. It is pointless. There you go.
Don't subscribe. Just watch.
Just watch. Just watch and hopefully tell your friends about it.
Lots of stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh,
man.
thanks
It's
very
been
much.
An absolute delight to have you.
Been great. Yeah, thank you. You can follow Max at all the socials that he gave, and you can also follow me at Tom Elwes on Instagram and TikTok.
At Aliwaz Gigs, if you want an extra episode every week, you can donate $5, not even pounds, a month, and then get an extra
Dollars?
episode. I know,
Dollars.
right? So it's like it's like £1 a week, even.
Yeah.
So
Venezuelan dollars.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
five yen. We are very in the red at
Yeah.
the moment. So $5 a month. And you get an extra episode every Tuesday. Thank you very much to all our Patreon listeners who do listen. If not, don't worry. We'll see you next week. And obviously, you can catch me at Ali Woods Gigs and on our socials, AIDIF Pod. Thank you. We reached 1,000 Instagram followers. So thank you for following us on Instagram. If you do that, at AIDIF Pod, AIDIF POD. But until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Cheers.